Abide Project. My name's Pastor Lloyd Hemstreet.
And I'm Pastor Cam Ugama.
Cam, we're not in West Michigan anymore, are we?
Well, you're not.
I'm not in West Michigan anymore.
You're in my turf now.
I am. We are on the campus of beautiful campus, I must say, of Redeemer University. And the reason we're here is because Synod is here. The Synod of the Christian Reformed Church 2025 began convening today in person, and they had their opening session this morning.
They did, yeah, and it was very quick, very smooth. They did everything very well.
Yep.
Had a great time of worship to open up. And
one little challenge with IT, but there's always one of those, and I think there was a list of a couple of people that didn't quite figure out how to mark themselves present, even though they were physically present in the room. But those are the first day details that Synods always experience, and by the end of next week, they'll have all that working smoothly, I'm sure. We started with a nice time of worship together. The pastor of the host church this year got us started off.
Yeah, so, that's Nate Vindennen, Reverend Nate Vindennen from First Christian Reformed Church in Chatham. It's an interesting church. It is the oldest Christian Reformed church in Ontario, though not in Canada.
Okay.
So they were given the opportunity to be the convening church for this year's Synod. They're coming up on 100 years as a Christian Reformed church. And so it was just an opportunity for us, in a sense, to really celebrate the Christian Reformed Church in North America, but also in Canada, too.
Yeah, in Ontario specifically.
And for sure. So yeah, he did a wonderful job. I've heard Nate preach before. None of it was surprising to me.
No.
So,
we got started with first singing, not from Nate's church, but from the Christian school in Chatham.
I believe it was from the Chatham Christian High School.
Yep, their praise band and praise group, and they did a great job leading us in songs. A number of great hymns and modern worship songs as well. One of the songs that we sang was "Holy, Holy, Holy," which tied in a little bit with Nate's message.
Yes.
Nate went ahead and opened up with a reading from Heidelberg Question and Answer 21 on Lord's Day 7 about what is faith. And then he read from Isaiah chapter 6, which, of course, is where we have the angels declaring the holiness of God. And he challenged all of us to, and the delegates of Synod especially, to not only think about and recognize the holiness of God and the value of meeting with him, but also in that passage it talks about kind of the curse and the danger of hearing and not seeing, or hearing but not understanding, seeing but not understanding. And he challenged all of the delegates that, hey, while we're together, we need to have our eyes open, our hearts open, to see where God is leading his people as we're seeking to follow him together through Synod. So that was what we started with. After that, we had since 2019, it's been part of every Synod to go ahead and have a power, privilege, training, an idea of, how are we coming together, thinking about and recognizing and caring for one another. And the way Reverend Sean Baker did it this year was by referencing the catechism to start off.
Yeah, and he went into Lord's Day 40.
Yep.
Or sorry, not Lord's Day 40, Question and Answer 40.
No, Lord's Day 40. You had it right the first time.
I had it right the first time. Shoot.
Yep. So,
of the catechism, talking about the sixth commandment, which is, of course, you shall not kill.
Right.
You shall not murder. And in this case, of course, when we talk about that in the catechism, we talk about not belittling, not insulting, not hating through words or thoughts or actions, and certainly, not by deeds.
Exactly.
And it was just a very, very good, I think, a good tie-in to
a healthy reminder as we come together. As Synod progresses and days and people are running short on sleep, we can act uncharitably towards one another, even if we don't really mean it. But those are the sorts of things that we want to prevent. We want to be welcoming and opening as we listen to one another. So there was that healthy reminder. Then we had the president of Redeemer that gave an address.
Yes, David Zietsma. David's been a part of the Redeemer community for a long time. I'm actually a Redeemer alumni. If you can tell by the logo here, this is the Redeemer Royals.
Okay.
I was a Royal at one point.
Very good.
But he was a history professor when I was here. I graduated in 2013, and not long after that, he became, I believe, was the interim president at the time, and then dropped the interim tag.
Okay.
So he is now the president of Redeemer, and Redeemer has experienced incredible growth and just development under his leadership.
Yeah.
They're looking at adding new programs, and I'm sure there'll be more that that Dr. Ziesma gets to say about that later.
Yeah, he talked about
but
that they'll have a banquet where he'll have an opportunity to address more. But even just in his opening remarks, he talked about how instrumental the Christian Reformed Church was as a denomination in starting this university. And so
for sure.
Very, very thankful for the good fruit that it continues to bear.
And then you got to poke a little bit at our vice chair this year, Ken Benjamin.
Yes, he did.
A not so recent graduate of
another
Redeemer.
graduate, but not as recent as yourself. Yep. Other than that, the president, Reverend Stephen Terpstra, he gave his opening remarks, set the groundwork for how he wants Synod to go ahead and work well together. Of course, following our rules and procedures that we already have established, but those aren't there just to try and be some sort of heavy-handed, heavy-fisted thing, but rather just to help everyone in the room work and participate together. One of the things they encouraged was everyone in the advisory committees to certainly speak up and bring their wisdom. Really, a lot of the deliberation, the Synod's a deliberative body, but a lot of that deliberation takes place in the advisory committees, which are meeting right as we speak now, and will be meeting through the day on Saturday as well.
Yeah, and it's a good opportunity too, I think, for those voices that aren't going to speak up so much on the floor of Synod during those plenary sessions on Monday through Thursday. A lot of the elders and deacons, I have found in my experiences watching Synod and actually in 2013 being a small part of it when I was declared eligible for call, it's a lot of pastors who talk.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of elders and deacons who feel confident enough to talk.
Right.
But
and we're always a little weaker for it, and we would certainly hope that if the Lord lays something on their hearts, that they would stand up and speak.
Yeah.
But in the advisory committees, everyone gets that opportunity. One of the things they did this morning was went ahead and approved the program committee report, and that made official the advisory committees. Learned that there are 7 of them this year. In the Bible, the 7's the number of perfection at times, so that sounds really promising and like a good group as well.
Funny how that happened once we came to Canada.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, it was only in Canada that we could get together. I see how it is. Very nice. Other things they talked about that will be going on is Saturday morning session. We'll have Reverend Elaine May from Thrive, and she's going to be giving a report on the gatherings that had been taking place. That project that has been taking place. They said last year, I think it's almost a year and a half since the first gather was hosted, but they had these 10 events bringing together voices from all across the denomination. So we're going to receive a report on that Saturday morning. Other than that, they talked about if there's going to be a potential plenary session either Friday night or Saturday, that it would be noted to the delegates by their email. But generally speaking, the regular plenary sessions will continue on Monday morning. So that is kind of our expectation. Synod 2025's off to a great start here on Canadian soil. Apparently that's what it takes to get it running good. And so we're thankful for the Lord's blessing. Sound like everyone made it here safely and well. And we look forward to seeing how the Lord continues to lead this church, his church, as the delegates work together this week. So I don't know if we have anything else, Cam?
No, not from my end anyway.
Yep. Well, we'll sign off there, and we will pick up again with another report, Lord willing, next week.
Grace and peace.